So I was sitting there, tears of frustration on my titties because I was so angry at everything that's going wrong in the world right now. And trust me, there is a lot. So I thought, okay, I'll go on Instagram and I'll see if there are any petitions I can sign or any little way in which I can help. But that was Blackout Tuesday, and at first I was like, okay, if black people think this is a good idea, who am I to say anything about it? But then I started seeing stories by black people who were completely against the idea. And I thought to myself, if I was a celebrity, I would simply use my platform to create more acceptance, to amplify voices that really matter. You see, silence is not the answer to everything. And sure, I don't want them to take over the platform or dominate over the movement, but I want them to bring to the forefront people who should be doing that. You know, celebrities have millions and millions of followers who are extremely impressionable because of how much they look up to them. So that platform can be used in so many more productive ways than just posting a black square. Then I started thinking, are celebrities really reacting to everything that's going on in the correct manner? Now, there is no objective for what a correct manner is, but there are certainly things that they're doing which do not qualify as right, no matter what your standard is. Let's talk about the Indian celebrities, okay? So many of the Indian actresses posted Black Lives Matter, and these are the same people who promote fairness companies and fairness creams and fairness brands. I just think that is so it's so hypocritical. And I was like, okay, fine, maybe I let that slide. But then I started thinking that this is just performative. Their selective activism is performative to achieve a greater purpose of looking cool and looking woke on social media. Because they are the same people who had completely shut up about the Delhi pogrom and the police brutality that happened during the anti-CAA protests. They are the same people who have completely shut up about activists being arrested under various draconian laws. So, does human life matter to them only when it gets them clout? The idea of that is, frankly, disgusting. And, that got me thinking that their performative activism is surely much more of a performance than their actual acting stints. Never mind though, I'm not judging them on that. I also noticed that most of these celebrities only posted something after people asked them, hey, why haven't you posted anything? And then they were like, oh fuck, now I have to go and pretend to care about people. Because it's quite clear the only thing they care about is how popular they are and how much people love them. None of them seem to be genuinely worried or concerned about human lives and important political movements right now. Then there are celebrities who have been posting about Black Lives Matter and who've been doing something better than their colleagues. But at the same time, they're also condemning the riots. And that is just proof of the fact that they don't really understand how systematic oppression works. See, when you condemn riots, you have to realize that riots are the reason you have so many riots today. Some simple things such as 8-hour workdays are because people rioted against oppressive systems. Now, I don't even like calling it a riot. I would prefer if people called it uprising, but let's use the language of the celebrities. If you condemn riots, if you think a Starbucks window is worth more than human lives, then you need to reconsider your morals and your values, You really need to look into the history of human rights and how most of us today have voice because of riots. Then there's a category that I did not even want to warrant with a response, but the All Lives Matter celebrities who think they are the icons of humanitarianism and equality when they say all lives matter. Listen, sweetie, we know all lives matter. But the police system, the oppressive mechanisms don't realize that all lives matter the same way as most of us do. Those systems are made to oppress and kill people who are not the majority they are supposed to protect. And oh my god, and this thing happened in India where this pregnant elephant suffered a really brutal, painful death, and it was horrifying. It was so sad. But some of the Indian celebrities use that as a means to say all lives matter. And there's nothing more disgusting than that. You see, anthropocentrism is wrong. That is not correct to put humans at the pedestal of everything in nature. But at the same time, if you're using that as an excuse to discredit a very, very important movement right now, then you quite frankly do not understand the mechanism and you should not be commenting on it. As celebrities, they influence millions and millions of people. And instead of being selective and only posting about things that make them seem popular and vogue and cool, they should be posting about everything that's going wrong. They can use that platform to do so much good. But their ignorance does not absolve them of the harm that their ill-informed and misinformed posts cause. For example, this actress who posted this All Lives Matter thing, she hasn't commented about Sephora yet, and she is an activist who's been in jail, a pregnant activist who has been in jail for 4 months now, just because the court think that she blocked a road, while so many other people who actually incited violence by saying really, really violent statements are roaming free. Talk about that too. Talk about the migrant lives that were lost, that were murdered by the government's terribly planned lockdown. And most importantly, let's say you want to post for the heck of it. Research a bit. As a celebrity, you have so many resources. You have PR managers, you have time, you have money to really educate yourself. If nothing, watch a Netflix documentary and try and understand the movement that's going on. Try and understand why it's important that people are rising up. Misinformation that you spread is not just misinformation, it is irresponsible because it reaches so many people. And that kind of irresponsibility makes you complicit in the violence that's going around. If you really want to show solidarity, if you really, really care about people, amplify voices that matter. Listen to people. The best thing and the smartest thing you can do right now is listen to people. And then take their message and put it out. Don't hijack the movement. Don't post bullshit like all lives matter. Do not post just for the heck of posting. Post because you have social capital that can affect people and people's lives. So I think this video's only message was that let go of your double standards, let go of your prejudices, learn, listen, unlearn, and make sure you use your platform not to gain more social clout during times of unrest like this, but to amplify voices that matter right now, and to make sure that the general mass of public that follows you also understand why these movements matter. Just use your platform smartly. As I said, if I was a celebrity, I would simply not post anything until I was sure of it being the right thing to do. So I'm sorry for this very haphazard video. It was quite incoherent and scattered, but I hope it made sense, and I hope we understand that celebrities cannot be our final guide to how we do things. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and bye.